Morning everyone, and welcome to ReinaMoesDesigns. And today, which you'll have to forgive my voice because for some reason I'm beginning to lose it. Today we will be working on the mirror box riser that I spoke of in the last tutorial. So if this sounds like a tutorial that would interest you, please continue to watch. Okay, so I know that you can Google mirror boxes, and you can definitely look on YouTube and find mirror boxes because people have been making them on YouTube for a while. But I showed my mirror box back when I first started and how I decorated it. So I knew that I wanted to use these at my wedding. So all I'm going to do is show you how I make mine. It's a little bit different, but the concept is the same. So basically just go to Dollar Tree and get yourself these mirrors, the square mirrors. Part of the time you can find them, part of the time you can't. I was fortunate to where I actually found a fresh new batch, but I didn't have all of the mirrors that I wanted. So for the boxes that I'll be using for the wedding, will actually have the octagon on top. So since it'll have the octagon on top, the four corners will actually be open. Well, I don't want anyone looking at the back of the mirror on the table that I set the mirror risers on. Okay, so here you see I'm placing the mirrors down and getting ready to begin applying the spray paint. I'm using this Rust-Oleum Satin Vintage Blush spray paint that I absolutely love the color. It's such a nice, beautiful, neutral, very muted, blushy pinky color. So I'm going to go ahead and spray all four of the mirrors, and you really should give time for them to dry in between, but I was actually in a little bit of a hurry because I just wasn't feeling very well. I don't know why my voice was leaving me, but I'm just going through and giving it a nice coat, stepping back, looking to see if I can see any of the gray through, and we're done. Beautiful mauve color. So I have already done that, and I'll insert the footage of me actually spray painting the tiles, the mirror tiles. So basically I'm just going to take my mirrors one at a time and get some painter's tape, and I'm going to just tape them together from the outside. Just like this. Line them up. And just put a little piece of tape. And I'm not securing the tape all the way down because there may be adjustments that need to be made. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish lining them up and taping them, and when I come back I'll show you the next step. Taped up the sides, and what I wanted to share with you is at my Dollar Tree, first time ever, I have seen spackle there, but I've never seen caulk. So when I saw this, I had to grab it, especially because you guys know I prefer it in the little squeeze tube. So what I decided to do was use caulk. I noticed that some YouTubers use duct tape, some YouTubers use grout, some YouTubers use hot glue. I decided I wanted to use caulk on mine. So I've already taken the liberty of going ahead and cutting it, and then I'm just going to take it from the inside and squeeze and move up and caulk the seam. And I'm going to do it on all four corners here. And it's just nice and smooth and easy. I love it. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I got to remind myself to get my Lazy Susan because it makes doing these crafts so much easier. And just squeeze and go up. One quick, easy, smooth swipe. Now you can go back with these tools that they have that you can use to clean up your caulk, but I'm not going to worry about that because I can use my finger to go in and clean it up if I feel the need to, but actually I feel like it is okay. So all I'm going to do is let this cure and then put the top on, and when I come back I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so the next step would be to go ahead and affix the top once your caulk has dried. Now with the top, you could use caulk if you wanted to. I'm actually going to use hot glue, and the reason that I'm going to use hot glue is because it's just easier to do that. Once everything has dried and you've applied your top, if you want to turn it over and apply caulk along the edges from the inside, the beautiful thing about this having a squeeze tube is that you can get in there, as long as you don't have huge hands, you can get in there and you can do that to help double secure it. So I have my hot glue gun here, and I already know that the 4 corners are going to be out, so that's going to be every other edge that I actually add hot glue to. So first I'm going to set it down onto the box so I can see exactly how it fits, because sometimes, you know, these rectangles, although they're supposed to be like 5 by 5, sometimes they're short, sometimes they're larger. So I'm just making sure that the edges all touch, and they do, thank goodness. So now I'm just going to go ahead and apply the hot glue to these 4 edges or poles of this particular octagonal shaped mirror. And you'll notice I did not spray paint this the back of this mirror that antique satin vintage blush color. And the reason for that is once everything is done, if you want to, you can take it outside, flip it over to where the actual top of the box will be on the bottom, and you can spray paint to cover the white caulk on the inside. And you can also spray the bottom of this the top octagon if you so choose to do that, which I will be doing. So I'm just going to add my hot glue, and remember that this is glass, so it gets very hot. So just add my hot glue, and then I'm just going to place it onto the mirror box. And then we just let it go ahead and cure. Now this side's a little short, so I'm just going to add a little hot glue to give like a seam. And I'm not going to worry about that too much because I'm going to go along the edges with some bling, because you know I'm a bling girl, and cover that up, and that's going to look really, really nice. I'm going to add another stick of hot glue, and then just go ahead and let this dry, and when we come back, on to my favorite part, we get to decorate. Okay, so now I'm going to be decorating with this particular type of bling wrap, and I have to say that I've used this type of bling wrap, which is circular yet square, but I never saw them in a sheet this big until I watched 40 Pieces of Me. I believe she was the one that showed me that it comes in this big panel, basically. Before, when I used to buy it, it was just 2 nice long strips, and I picked it up at Hobby Lobby, but this I found at Michael's. But let me open it up so I can show you what I mean when I say they're circles, but yet they're square. And excuse the noise. I know opening packages on camera is very, very noisy. So if you take a really good look, you can see that even though the centers are rounded, it's squared off each individual piece, and I love that aspect. To me, it seems to give it more bling. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the protective film off of the top, as well as no, I'm going to leave the one on the bottom, but the one on the top, I'm going to go ahead and remove that off, and then I'm going to begin to cut my strips, and when I come back, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here you see I'm just cutting up my strips, and I think I ended up with 4 strips in the end that I actually used. I'm just lining it up with the sides, then I'm going to cut where it measures, and then I'll apply it. And so it's just the same technique over and over again. Measure, cut, stick. Measure, cut, stick. So that's basically all I'm going to be doing here. Now here I just wanted to show you how I work on the sides. I'm just measuring across the that and adhere it just like before when I did the sides. So that's all I'm showing you here. I measure, I cut, and I stick. Measure, cut, stick. But it's just on the little diagonals of the octagonal shaped mirror. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start applying my bling strips to the sides here, and when we come back, I'll show you how that looks. So here's the final look. Once I've added all of the bling to her, just look how pretty she is. She's so shiny. I just love it. I love it. And it's simple elegance because I'll be using it to elevate the hurricane lamps and the other votives on the tables throughout the venue, and you just don't want to put too much. Now, one suggestion I do have, if you want to, you can definitely run a line of the bling around the bottom as well. I'm not going to do that because when I went to Michael's, they only had this one sheet of bling wrap, and I need to make sure that I can get through 6 boxes at least. And so I don't want to be wasteful. If I have enough to go through the 6 boxes and then go back through and add some to the bottom, then I will. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's not as glamified as the last couple of tutorials that I did, but in essence it is still beautifully blinged out and gorgeous. Please give us a thumbs up, share our video, add comments down below, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. But most importantly, have a wonderful evening. Bye.